Hello, gang. Have had a nasty flurry of technical issues. Almost to be expected when I'm not broadcasting every day like I used to. All right, I think I'm ready to go now. I'm all except for the fact that in my new YouTube interface, I don't know how to get the chats to show up. Isn't that crazy? I am so sorry. All right, I'm going to start anyway. My name's Dan. Welcome. This is Dan's Out Adventure. It used to be Daily Out Adventure back when I did daily. Got over 1,000 broadcasts. Anyway, so now I'm all the way down to a lowly number 27. How to wire painting. I went back and did a search, a Google search in my own channel and at other people's channels too to see how many artists had posted how to wire painting. I found a good number of people, artists, that have posted on this subject. And alas, I'm going to disagree with most of them, and I'm going to tell you right now why. So this is a painting that I have just finished. At least I think I finished it. I've sent the image to my client, waiting for their feedback, waiting for them to come back and tell me that they like it, and then I can ship it to them. I paint as always, on a deep stretcher. I paint the sides while I'm doing all the front of the painting, but then this morning I do a separate step, of course, to paint the top of the bottom in acrylics only, so it dries real fast. All right, now, how to wire a painting. You don't have to have a nice big fancy easel to do that with, but sure enough, it helps, but you do not need. All right, first of all, let me torpedo, that means disagree with, vehemently, most of what I saw on the internet. Most other artists say how to wire a painting like a professional. In fact, I agree that this is in fact how most professionals wire painting. Now, in order to use this kind, or here's a smaller one, just to make sure that we're clear about this. So here's a little one screw kind, and here's a bigger two screw. Okay, so for this you need two screws. Well, there's one problem right off the bat. This is too wide for that, so you have to go like this. Okay, that's not the end of the world, but this is not designed to be pulled this way. It's designed to be pulled this way, and it doesn't fit on that stretcher bar. Okay, again, not the end of the world. You can do that, but not engineering, if it's a very heavy painting. But the real problem, and I know I'm being fussy, being a little bit extreme, being a little bit correct here, let's be clear. The problem with this kind of hanger is that when you mount it, there's one there, and then a wire goes across there. This piece of metal rests in permanent contact with the wall. Now, not in an art gallery, because in an art gallery it's only there for a month, 2 months, 6 months, whatever. But the person who buys the painting and hangs this piece of metal is going to be in contact with their sheetrock covered with latex paint. Now you're going, yeah, so. You hang this thing in permanent contact with your wall for 5 years, and it leaves a permanent mark. I don't know what it is, but something in metal bleeds, ionizes something into the paint. That might not seem like a big problem to you, but when I take a painting down because I want to put up a different painting, dang, there's an image of this thing on the wall. And I'm not kidding. Maybe this may only happen here, like here in the South. I live in a fairly humid part of the world, but in the hot summer, the air conditioning's on all summer, so I don't know if that's a problem or not. But it may be that, in Michigan or Texas or whatever, where it's not quite so humid, that's not a problem. But anyway, the other problem with this is you need to have a drill. Okay, or you can have one of those little battery operated, get, it's this big, rechargeable battery operated drill. So you need to have, in order to put a wire in your painting, you need to have a fairly big machine and 2 screws, which also get lost. Anyway, so I have used these many times over the years, but probably never in the last 10 years. Okay, so that's what most people tell you to use, and I say, no, don't. There's a better way, and I'm going to show you the better way. Now, my method, it all fits in this itty-bitty jar. Looks like Planters mixed nuts, don't you think? I have no idea, but everything I need, and actually a whole lot more, could fit in a smaller jar. Everything I need to hang a painting, to put a wire on a painting, I should say, is in this jar. Now, I'm going to pull them out one at a time, and the only esoteric, strange, odd tool that I need to use is this. Now, some of you are looking at it and say, oh, an awl. Wrong. This is not an awl. This is a screw starter. And I did do a Google search before I started this broadcast. I could say, man, are people going to have a hard time? Okay, so can I show this to you right up close? Hang on. It's out of focus, but what if I go like this? No, it's still not very good. Hang on, we're working on it. There we go, now you can see it. Okay, so this has threads, and all just comes to a point. AWL is the word, AWL point. This is a screw starter. And you can find it on Google screw starter, hit shopping, and then scroll down till you find something that looks kind of like this, all right? Costs anywhere from $5 to $15. I have at least 2 of them. This is my old one. I have a newer one somewhere, I don't remember where. And this alleviates the need for this, okay? So you don't have to have a drill. All right, so let me show you, then what do you do with a screw starter? You, forgive me, start screws. Okay, now, contrary to what some people say, you do not need to measure how far down. I even showed you what hardware I'm going to use, so bear with me. You don't need to get out a tape measure or a ruler. No. In fact, if these are slightly off, the wire's going to cross from here to here, it actually doesn't matter if it's slightly off. Isn't that crazy? So, use your fingers. Now, how far down do you come? No, not here. No, not here. Not way up here, because the wire would have to be so tight that's problematic. Not way down here where it's in the middle. So about 1/3, 1/4, 1/3 of the way down. Okay? So here's what you do. You push and twist. This is what a screw starter does. It starts screws. Give it about 15 or 20 screws, back it up. Now, maybe some of you figured out, oh, I get it. You're going to use eye hooks. Bing, 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 bing. Yes, you're exactly correct. Okay? So, an eye hook, hang on, bear with me just a second, looks like this. Boy, I'm smooth, aren't I? Yeah, you got to admit, I'm smooth. All right, that's an eye hook. Now, another tool that I need, or at least makes it a lot easier, is some needle nose vice grips. Now, if you're a toolie, that if you're a person who likes tools, then you are completely, you're all over this. You already have 1, 2, or 3 of these. If you walk into an Ace Hardware on the right day, or Harbor Freight, or Northern Tool, or Tractor Supply Company, I'm in America, you can tell by all those brands, they'll have these on sale for like $2, $3. So or you can go to Lowe's and Home Depot and buy a really fancy schmancy one for $10. You understand? Needle nose vice grips, okay? So what I do is grip the little eye hook like that, and then I screw it in here. Now, here's what I'm afraid of. For anybody out there you're a beginner, I know the feeling. Believe me, I remember the feeling. At this point in the video, you're already going, dang, 2 more tools, 2 more things I got to buy, and you're just discouraged. So forgive me. I know how it feels. Dang. When a teacher says you got to buy stuff. Okay, so the good news is $5, $3, we're up to $8, and you don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to just get on Google. Not right now. Stay with me. Just do a search for screw starter shopping, then scroll down till you find one like this. There's a whole bunch of stuff that is not like this at all, but you'll find one of these. And then needle nose vice grips, and at $15, $20 with shipping, you'll be home free. All right. So I've screwed in one eye hook. Now we're going to use that operation again. Here's my super accurate measuring system. Whoops. Get that out of the way. I'll talk some other time what those are for. All right. And then a little bit harder with your left hand, but I'm pushing that way while I'm screwing till it gets a bite. Now, sometimes this wood is so hard that this won't work, and you really will need a drill. But I think in my 20 years of doing this, that's happened to me. Hello, Michael McEwen. Good to see you. And here's, by the way, I have a little Ziploc bag, snack bag size of eye hooks. And every once in a while when I go to a hardware store, I just buy a little bag or box of those things so that I always have. I like to have 20, 30, or 40 laying around. Not really laying around, but you know what I mean. On hand so that I don't get myself caught. One advantage, again, I feel of my system is that all of my wiring tools fit in a small container, and I can take them on the field. I can do this while I'm on the road. I've done this years ago. I used to do this at the end of every wedding reception. Back when I did paintings faster. The reason I do my wedding paintings slower now is because my painting process has become more involved. I've added more step 1, 2, 3, A, B, C, and so forth. So I don't finish at the reception. But when I did, this was always in my van or in my travel kit. All right, now the rest of this, I was going to say you don't really need to see, but you know what? Some of you do, because I've seen people do this poorly. So let's make sure that you're not some of those people. All right, so I have my 2 eye hooks in place, and you might say, well, how strong are these? And I don't know exactly. Now, they make bigger eye hooks, and I have used one, but I have hung paint 8 by 10 foot paintings that weigh about 40 or 50 pounds, okay? So 40 or 50 pounds, 8 by 10 foot painting. Now here is a little detail that evidently not everybody gets this, because I've seen some people wire painting go, oh my goodness. All right, so you want, a good generous amount, I'm saying 2.5, 3 inches, and you're gonna twist this 20 or 30 times. I'm not really counting, but you twist it. I've seen where a few people have done this and twisted only like 4 times. Oh my goodness, no. Okay, forgive me. I thought we were done with tools. We're not. We also need wire cutters. Okay, so let's go back and count just to make sure. And I believe this is the last tool you need. Screw starter, $5. Vice grips, $5. Wire cutters, $5. Okay? Probably $15. These have pink handles because I bought them at some artsy craftsy woman store. And the only I'm not being sexist here, the store was. It was like Joann's Fabrics or something, where usually women shop, and the only wire cutters they had pink handles. All right, and you don't need to do this, but this is me. I like to cut off the little tiny ends so that nobody can cut their finger, poke their finger on that. Okay, then I unroll out to about here, and I want a little extra okay? So I just cut it with wire cutters. That was not in the, okay, now here is a good question. Go through this, and you could, by the way, on a really big painting, I would loop this through the eye hole twice. I'm not going to do it here because it's not necessary. All right, here's a really good question. How tight or how loose? Should it be like this? Do you see it's going from here up to here and down here? The answer is no. Why? Okay, I'll demonstrate real quickly, because if you do it like that, then the painting has a possibility of sagging, hanging out away from the wall. Does that make sense? If it's too loose. Now, hang on. I've got a big exception. This probably never happened to you. If you know me, and you probably don't, but if you do, I do a lot of big paintings. 6x8, 4x6, 6x8, 8x10 foot paintings. Me, okay? Probably not you, but I'm weird that way. And when you do a big painting, in fact, you do have to do the wire loose. Here's why. And again, one person will ever watch this video in all of history, probably, that this applies to. But when you're doing big paintings, you have to get that wire over a hook on the wall, over a nail, over a hook on the wall. Your body, your physical body is inside, in between that huge painting and the wall. You're literally, and sometimes standing on a little step stool or a ladder, and you've got the wire in your hand, and the big 6x8 foot painting is hanging down behind you, and you have to get that over the hook, and then you have to crawl out from underneath the painting. Are you with me? So if I've had artists tell me, no, you should never do the wire loose, and I look at them and go, yeah, you don't do big paintings, do you? All right, so there's a tip just for the 3 of you in America, Indonesia, India, Germany, wherever you're from, who do big paintings. So when you do big paintings, I wonder how I learned these things. You can figure that out for yourself. I made every mistake at least once. That's coming out. Okay, so do you want it like this? No, unless it's a huge painting, right? Then you do want it loose, because your body has to fit in here and crawl out on a huge painting. All right, the other thing is, do you want it straight like this? No, you do not. You're going to have a dickens of a time getting your hand in there, getting it over a hook on the wall, and then getting your hand out if it's like this. So no, so you want a little bit of slack. I can say about like that. Can you see that? I'm not sure how well you can even see that wire, but about, not this, about like that. All right? And then once again, over here, you want to twist this thing a whole bunch and fairly tightly, okay? Not 4, 5, or 6 times, as I have seen some people do. I don't, forgive me, I think some people just don't have a natural built-in gift for engineering, physical engineering. I'm sorry to sound arrogant, but I do. That's what you want, all right? And I cut off these little things so that, now I've seen people that wrap some kind of tape around this. I'm not sure why. Maybe it's just so people can't poke themselves on it. And now the only part of the metal, you heard me talk earlier about metal in contact with latex paint will oxidize or ionize or bleed or do something. That will still happen with this wire. By the way, they sell wire that's plastic coated, maybe picture wire that's plastic coated for that very reason, maybe. But in my opinion, that's way better than one of these big metal things. All right, so that's my 2 cents worth. It's worth way more than 2 cents, but that's my 2 cents worth about how to wire paintings. Just a comment about the front of this, since we're here. I'm going to do another video starting in just a few minutes, a separate video where I'm going to talk about 3 wedding paintings that are in various stages of completion. This one I hope is finished. I'm going to zoom in on it just for a second, partly because I hate to say this, but I am really proud of this painting. Let me show you the photograph that I took, that I did most of the work from. So you'll notice there's some differences between the photograph. Where'd the preacher go? Where'd that preacher woman go? Preacher woman attractive though she was with that red hair in the sunlight, she is kapoof, gone. And then, instead of the bride and groom being this far apart, I brought them together, which means I had to see the bride's arm goes forward here. I made it go straight down. So I had to do some anatomical calculating and so on. And between you and me, yeah, hey, some person, that might be right. I am familiar with that stuff. I use it, but I don't think that's what they used. It was some kind of tape. Anyway, maybe not a bad idea. Anyway, I'm happy with this painting, and I think I'm finished with it. I love the glow. And as you can see, the photograph, the sun was coming in from behind the bride and groom there, and I just took that and exaggerated it. I'm quite happy with the likeness. I feel like it's dead on. So, end of this. Thank you very much, Michael. And forgive me, are you the Michael who's not a Michael? Is that you? Are you in Scotland? I have some Michael who's a woman. Is that you? It's been a while. Forgive me if I'm forgetting. You can answer my question. Maybe you say, I'm not a woman. I know, but I have some viewer whose name is Michael, but that's not their real name. That's just their online name. It's their husband or something. Anyway, end of this video. I'm going to be back in a few minutes. I'll show you real quick. Just here's a commercial. The two paintings I'm going to be working on in the next video. Did that one last Saturday, a week ago Saturday, and started this one 3 days ago Saturday. So I'll walk through you a little bit about. You are from Scotland. Good, Michael. I thought that was the case. You're my friend Michael from Scotland, and you are not a woman. Last time we checked. I know that's politically incorrect, but all right. So be back in just a few minutes with another video. Thank you guys for watching.